Yeah. In business, the biggest challenge as a small business has always been money, has always been cash flow. As much as we plan, there's another thing. And there's a guy called Robert Yahweh. He said, you cannot, as an entrepreneur, you can't go sit down with someone who earns a salary and share your business problems. They'll think you're mad. Because some of the things we go through, we've been conned by people, money has refused. There's so many things. So cash has always been a problem. For businesses, being funded by banks is always a big problem. And so growing and expanding is always another big problem. You find that raising that amount of capital to help you grow is difficult. And then last but not least, business sometimes is not kind to married people. Especially because the business dynamic, sometimes business is up, business is down. So you might find that it does affect your relationship several times. And it didn't help that we got married young. So at some point we all had big egos and our tempers would fly in all sorts of directions. The one thing I would always say, I can tell young women listening is that you have to first decide whether you want to stay married or not. That's the basis of everything. Because once you decide you want to stay married for the longer term, then the decisions are easier. I've gone, I've left it, I'm coming back, I've left it. It causes a lot of grief, and then it removes you from productive time that you could be having taking care of something or the other. So I think when I finally settled and decided, I was staying married for the long run, I think that's when things really changed, because I had to then understand if I'm staying married for the long run, then my conversations with my husband changed. Even, when we are all angry, you realize this is a man you're staying with, so you can't just throw manenos everywhere. You have to be a bit more focused on that. So yeah, I think we weathered the storm. We're still there. I hope we'll still be there even in the next 2-3 years. Again, you never know. But that's the prayer. I think one of my highlights, no, then it didn't even become a highlight after that. I told my friend, the way we were just talking, I was like, you know what? This year, and that was last year, 2019, I want to do 50 shows. Go figure. She's like, 50 shows, Vicky? Yeah. Do you know, in February, in December of 2018 is when I was telling her, next year, I think one of my goals, I want to do 50 shows. In December that year, I met a guy who owned Sevens. And he invited me to be singing every Friday at Sevens. So I sang straight up. I don't think I missed any Friday until September when I had to travel. So I guess that was a highlight. Family is a highlight, but family changes. Today we are like this, tomorrow we are the other like this. Everything changes. I have my family, I have my husband, he's very supportive. I have my kids who want a life different from the one I imagined for them. So those are highlights for me, because it is at that point when I distress, I am able to connect with people, we're able to share, we're able to laugh. Me, that's a highlight. We're able to just be girls, like stupid girls. I get away from all these other hard things that I'm doing, and just for like some few hours, yeah, I can be in the girls' club, so they speak, and just do nothing. That's a highlight. So the first lesson, I met a guy, he was called Mr. Kabage, rest in peace, and he told me one thing that even up to now, I still live by. You have to know what you want. And then you have to know the cost of what you want. You have to understand through and through the cost of what you want. And for me, that one lesson has stayed with me for, I think it's the one that drives me. And even sometimes when I feel like I'm missing out on certain things, certain aspects of my life, or other goals I could be pursuing, I remind myself that I knew what I wanted to get, and I knew the cost of getting it. This was one of the items.